At this point in time, I think I have lost a lot of respect for so many Islamic scholars. And I believe when you listen to this video completely, you're going to share a similar opinion with me. Because right now, so many people are just confused with the kinds of teaching that we keep seeing every day in Nigeria, especially about our Muslim scholars. And here are some of the facts I would like to discuss in this very short video. On what basis do you call someone a non-Muslim when you are seeing him praying 5 times in a day? When you, just because you have different opinions with him, doesn't mean that you should call him a kafir. Personally, I have seen a lot of scholars, not one, not two, of Islamic scholars criticizing, these are preachers really, criticizing not just non-Muslims, but of course, even the Muslims. They criticize them, they castigate them, they use foul languages in their mosque and places of worship. You tend to see them using some kind of harsh words. Sometimes they even use insults to preach, criticizing, castigating, referring, calling names their fellow Muslims. These are the same people who believe in Allah, who believe in the Prophet, who believe in the Quran, who believe in the Hadith. But just because these people have different opinion, or just because they're doing one thing in a way you don't understand or in a way you don't believe in, and that means you should call them non-Muslims. And then you see these people usually, a lot of times, you will see them quoting verses in the Quran and interpreting it in the most wrong way, of course. Quoting out of context. You recite a verse that talks about hell, and then you describe a particular sect as though this verse was revealed because of them. So I think this is completely wrong. I don't think there will ever be a time, at least not in this our lifetime, where you are going to see all of us doing the same thing. There is going to be some differences in the way we interpret verses, in the way we interpret even major issues. Our worldview will just never be the same. Our worldview, even among the Sunni, their worldviews and interpretations, their analysis, their methods of analogies, it will just never be the same. And that's why a lot of the times you hear that according to some scholars, they say this is halal. According to other scholars, they say this is haram. There is going to be differences among the Qadiriyya. Just because you believe in Qadiriyya or you believe in their ideologies doesn't mean you should see those who are practicing Sunnah as kafir, like you see them as you are seeing them as non-Muslim. Likewise, if you are practicing Sunnah, likewise if you are in Shia, likewise if you are in all of these sects, if you believe in Sufi, whatever it is that you're practicing, we all have to know that this is our individual understanding. And for me, I think of all these school of thoughts, it is almost impossible for you to find a week, for you to say that all the hadiths that was reported in that particular school of thoughts are completely from the prophets. They are all from the prophets. I think you're going to see some weak hadiths that obviously would never be traced to the prophets. That the isnad of the hadith might be weak. All of this school of thought, they all have these issues. But my concern right now is not about that. It's about how do you continue to respect your fellow Muslim? In fact, not just your fellow Muslim, but even non-Muslims. How do you call them in the most beautiful way? How do you invite them to Islam? A lot of us are not even focused about that anymore. What we do these days is we just continue to preach Quran. Like when the Quran says that when you want to invite people to Islam, you do that in the most beautiful way, in the most beautiful tone. You use the best possible language and the most sweetest of voices, like the best languages. You should use that when you are inviting people to Islam. Not using foul languages, not criticizing, not castigating, not calling names. We see scholars these days now in Nigeria going to their even on Friday. Some of these scholars, you even hardly see any book that they will open and read from page to page. It's always about this one is kafir, this one is mushrik, this one is a non-believer, this one is bid'ah, this one is calling names upon names every day. And like now, a lot of even the followers are even confused. Now, a lot of people are even making mockery of them. For me, I think I've lost respect for a lot of them. And I think it should be, because I think it should be about preaching beautifully. Even when you're having difference of opinion with someone who you believe is completely, in your deep down in your mind, is not a Muslim, I think you should still respect them. Not when you say, if you're not in my sect, you're not going to marry my daughter. I'm not going to pray behind you. I'm not going to eat your zakat. I'm not going to do this. We all go. These divisions would, and I think it started during the time of after the death of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when some people, some of the Sahabas were divided into three. Some believe in the caliphate of Abu Bakr, who believe that Abu Bakr should be the leader, then followed by Umar, and followed by Uthman, and then followed by Ali. Like these four Sahabas should be the rulers after the prophets. While others insisted they were never going to follow that it was supposed to be the household of the prophet. When Uthman was martyred, a lot of the Sahabas were divided into three. Those who said the killers has to be found and they have to be dealt with immediately. The second group are those who were against the first group. And then the third are those who were neither here nor there. They just want to be they just want to be everywhere. They just want to be a friend to everyone. They don't want to fight. They don't want to kill. That was how it all started. And up till this day, we are facing similar issue. Some people are calling themselves Sunnis. Even among the Sunni, there are divisions. Some are calling themselves different Tariqa, Ashazili, Tijaniya, a lot of them. The Shia, Mu'tazila, a lot of them. So we just have to try as much as possible to always respect each other, to always respect. How do you fight your fellow Muslim? How do you call him a kafir? You should never use this kind of word on your fellow Muslims. We just might never be able to find peace among us until the day we stop calling each other names, until the day we stop looking down on each other, until the day we start loving each other. So for me, I feel until that day, I actually don't like listening to any scholar, irrespective of the class, of the sect that he is following. As long as you're preaching disunity among us, you're sowing discord, as long as you keep preaching hatred against one group, I don't listen to you. Not even to talk of raising arms against your fellow Muslims. This is what a lot of scholars in Nigeria are doing right now, and I believe you all know this.